Today is going to be a new video, and what I'm going to be doing today is replacing the door latch cable. Now what it does is it goes from here, swings around, and unlatches the latch assembly over at the end of the door. Now over time, you're going to have one of two scenarios happen. You're going to have either the cable breaks, or it's just going to simply stretch out and be too long to actually put pressure and tension on this and to unlatch it. Now, it's going to be a straightforward, simple video as normal, with one little thing is going to be different than yours is. If you remember, the little Torx head bit setup they had for this on your window cranks, I'd already went and replaced that with a standard screw. So instead of having to have the Torx head screwdriver, I have to use the just a standard flathead. That was just something I did for this purpose of making it easier to get into without needing an extra tool. So we're going to get started. Never mind how dirty this is. It has been absolutely retardedly dirty at work. So, first off, in your case, you're going to need your Torx head bit to undo the window crank if you have manual windows. So from there, we're going to go ahead and remove the window crank. Once we have the window crank here removed, then we're going to have the screws removed, which is one here, and then you'll have to pull along the edge of the panel to remove the little Alright, now once we've got this handle removed, we'll have to remove the retaining screws that holds the panel on and these little panel clips. Now you'll have, if you've got the manual set up like I've got, you'll have one screw here, as you can see there, and then all along that edge, the bottom, and this front side, you'll have little panel clips that you have to just get in and pull firmly. Don't yank on it so hard, but just gently pull. Start from a corner, you'll find them, and if you do break one, it's no big deal because they're not expensive at all. Now, assuming that you've got your window crank off, you've got all your screws and clips undone, at this point, just push your door lock down. And I like to do this, which is just barely crack the vent window. It just gives a little more room right there. And from that point, all you have to do is lift completely everything off. Simple as that. Everything just lifts off. Now you'll have to finagle around your door latch holder here in the handle, but just as simple as that. And there you have it. Now on the back side, I can show you real quick your door panel clips. That way you understand what I'm looking at. Now I replaced mine a while back with these fellows instead of the little Christmas tree style, but you can see where your screw went here. You're supposed to have a screw here for holding the panel down to the door skin, and then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 panel clips. And yes, things get this dusty, but yeah, that's about what sums it up to remove the panel from the door at this point. Moving along, now we can see the actual cable. Now, if you'll notice the cable right there, notice how far I could move the handle before it actually starts pulling. And at that, it appears, yep, right there's my problem. You see how the cable is broken right there? It's not broken completely, but right there is the problem. You know, that squeak. Yep, right there is my entire problem. So from here, it's not hard to replace. You've already did most of the work. Basically all you have to do is just remove this end, it snaps out of this, and then remove this little piece out of there. And since I have the grip of a newborn and I don't want to scrape a knuckle by just ripping this out, what I learned to do was take you a flat blade screwdriver, sit straight under it, you gotta get the leverage just right, and then just pry up on it. And from there, it'll just pop right out for you, like so. Simple as that. And then the only thing you have to do from here is rinse and repeat on the other end for your latch. And this is how you get the latch assembly out. All right, now these 3 screws are the only ones that actually holds the latch assembly into the door skin. Now, I highly recommend don't do this unless you have the correct screwdriver. Now this one's a tad loose, so I think it'll work. But you want your screwdriver to get in and fit snugly and have as little slack as you possibly can. And then from there, just remove those 3 screws like you would normally do anything else. It appears we've struck on a problem. I actually got these 2 screws completely out, but this one decided to be a prick and tried to strip on me. So I just, after it slipped the first time, I said, nope. This is not the first time. This is one of those tangents I go on. Not the first time I've had an OEM screw strip out easily on me. These and the screws for the Nemo style mirrors, like the 92 and up style plastic mirrors, they are terribly made setups. The metal is extremely soft. You can just feel them. Well, you can see right here, just the pressure has actually twisted the little points one way just to get it, and it wasn't even that much pressure. So just when you're doing this, again, use the absolutely correct style screwdriver and hope, sacrifice a few goats if you got to, because otherwise this will have to be drilled and tap out. Now the good thing is the screw is only that long, so it's not a hard thing to do, but this is where I had to change plans and show you how to do this an alternate route. Alright, so now, you know, of course, like I said earlier, we've already gotten this feller out. And that's it. That's all I had to do to get him out, was just slide him out. Now this other side has a little bit of a quirk to it. It's like a throttle cable, as you can see there. So now with this one removed, I can push it down and give it a little more free slack. And then I have to finagle this old one out, slide this one in, snap it in place, all by going around this structure right here in the door. Now once you get inside here, I'll have to turn you another way to make the phone fit, but there we go. You can actually see where the cable comes up, right there, comes up, and it hides by everything right there. So a little bit of creativity is going to be necessary to get that part out. You can actually see in the reflection on my window tint there, there's a bolt right here. So you can remove that. That'll give you some more free space. Just one of those things that you got to be creative on these older vehicles. So here is to plan B. You need an 11mm wrench, preferably a 6-point. All I keep in the truck is 12-point. But anyways, go ahead and start removing the 11mm screw. I'll give you a reference to where it's at here. And that way it removes the little C-shaped piece of metal inside. And for also more space, roll your window up. You can actually, at that point, as you can see here, I can get you a lot better in there. Now you can see a lot better. Yeah, the 11mm bolt we're removing is right there. And at that point, it will allow the little piece to flip back a tad, so you can get in there. But right there is exactly what you got to get to. See the little S-shaped piece. And from there, you just put everything back together the way it came out and you're done. Alright, now it's done. Everything's working as it should. Cables installed on both ends. It does have a lid like this much more in length than I would like, but it is what it is. It unlocks the door fine. The next video will be over the replacing the door hinges, door pins. You can see right here. Right there, that little bit of movement. Doesn't sound like a lot and stuff till you get back here, close the door, and it basically puts more pressure on your latch, making it right there. If you see right there, open the door, see how it falls down just a tad. That's the door hinge there. It's not the hinge itself, it's the pin, which I have the pin to replace it, so that's a new video for another day. But latch cable is put in, and I hope that it helps somebody, because otherwise it is a pain to get into if you have not did it before.